Foundations for Tomorrow, Building Jamaica's New Vision, Brick by Brick, by Jamaica Homes, published on August 15th, 2025. There's something about an island, particularly this one, that lends itself to reinvention. Its coastline has weathered centuries of tides, its hillsides have held firm through storms and droughts, and its people, resilient as limestone, have carried forward a culture that is both fiercely proud and remarkably adaptable. Yet today, Jamaica is at a turning point. The walls of tradition, in politics, economics, even family expectation, are being gently but firmly dismantled by a generation unafraid to imagine something different. The children who grew up with smartphones and satellite internet are now young adults who see the world as both vast and immediate. They question the idea that your vote must match your parents', or that your destiny is written in the soil you were born on. This is a generation for whom loyalty must be earned, not inherited. And while their ambitions are wide-ranging, technology, art, renewable energy, one domain has emerged as the foundation upon which their vision might be built: real estate. A new kind of blueprint foundations for tomorrow. Building Jamaica's new vision, brick by brick. The traditional Jamaican property market has often been a closed circle. Land changing hands within families, ownership concentrated among the few, and development catering more to short-term tourist demand than to long-term community needs. Gen Z wants none of that. They want homes that serve multiple purposes, communities that are walkable and green, buildings that are as efficient as they are beautiful. They want a property market that is transparent, accessible, and sustainable. Dean Jones, founder of Jamaica Homes, observes, "The next chapter of Jamaica will be written by those who see land not as a possession to guard, but as a platform to build upon for everyone." This is more than an architectural metaphor. It's an economic imperative. A house is not just a shelter. It's a node in the network of a nation's future. From inherited walls to open doors, for decades, political allegiance and economic patterns have been passed down like family heirlooms. The mortar holding together systems resistant to change. "We've always done it this way" was often enough to silence deeper inquiry. But as any builder knows, mortar cracks under pressure, and so too do outdated ideas. The new generation is dismantling these old walls with sharper questions. Questions that cut to the heart of Jamaica's future and its real estate landscape. How can property development truly lift communities rather than displace them? What good is a luxury villa if it means locals are priced out or forgotten? Why is affordable housing still mostly a promise in manifestos, rather than a reality built on the ground? How can investment models evolve to make ownership attainable? Why don't we see part-buy, part-rent schemes where the government shares ownership, reducing barriers for first-time buyers and fostering stability in neighborhoods? Energy costs feed directly into property values and maintenance. So why does Jamaica still rely on a single utility provider without competition to drive down prices or encourage green alternatives? Our teachers are the backbone of education, and education shapes property markets and local economies. So why are so many educators leaving, threatening the foundation of future investment in human capital? With a growing, ambitious youth population, why are new schools scarce, limiting the very communities whose growth and property markets depend on a thriving local population? If education is the core investment in any nation's future, why does funding and policy fall short, thereby undermining long-term property and economic development? Development projects, including housing and infrastructure, often stall mid-construction. How can we create accountability so investments don't get trapped in bureaucratic limbo, denying communities the benefits they deserve? Transparency and good governance are as vital to investor confidence as solid foundations are to buildings. So why is public accountability still treated as optional in many sectors? Finally, why do we continue to treat young people as tomorrow's resource, when their choices, investments, and homeownership today will shape the property market and the nation's economic future? In a world where property is more than bricks and mortar, where land is legacy, investment, and community, These questions are not just political. They are economic imperatives. As history reminds us, you can fool some of the people some of the time. But in this age of connectivity and awareness, you cannot fool all the people all the time. Diaspora as silent architects. Scattered across the globe, Jamaica's diaspora holds both the nostalgia of childhood beaches and the practical insight of life in other economies. Many are millennials and Gen Z professionals earning abroad but yearning to invest at home. Their interest in Jamaican property is not simply sentimental. It is strategic, a long-term anchor in a place that remains theirs, no matter the passport they carry. Dean Jones frames it simply. The Jamaican dream doesn't stop at Norman Manley Airport. It travels in the hearts of those abroad, waiting for the right moment to come home and build. If policy can meet them halfway, easing the acquisition process, ensuring transparency, and protecting heritage, their investment could fund not just developments, but transformations, Gen Z's property wish list. This generation is not seduced by size alone. They want spaces that work: solar roofs, rainwater harvesting, and energy efficiency. Designs that merge home, workspace, and income potential. Green spaces, cultural hubs, and neighborhoods designed for people, not just cars. Technology woven into the very frame of the building. They want their homes to be as future-ready as their smartphones. A nation under construction. If Jamaica aligns itself with these aspirations, the results could be profound. Cities that are vibrant yet livable. Villages revitalized with new economic engines. A housing market that welcomes locals and diaspora alike. Development that respects history while embracing innovation. Dean Jones offers a rallying vision. Jamaica's future will not be inherited. It will be constructed, brick by brick, choice by choice. The subtle truth beneath the dream. Of course, building a better Jamaica will require more than hashtags and glossy architectural renders. It will demand patience, policy reform, and the sometimes messy process of community dialogue. But here's the quiet truth. It's easier to dream big when your front porch faces the Caribbean Sea, and your mortgage is more forgiving than rent in London. The long view. By 2030, Jamaica could be an exemplar, a small nation proving that size does not limit ambition. With property as its foundation and Gen Z as its architects, the island could host a generation who vote not out of tradition, but conviction, who build not just for profit, but for legacy. Dean Jones sums it up best. Every Jamaican property has two values, the one on the title and the one in the hearts of the people it touches. Great investors understand both, and that perhaps is the grand design for a nation still under construction. Disclaimer: this article is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or real estate advice. Property investment involves risks, and market conditions can change. Readers should seek independent professional guidance before making any investment decisions in Jamaica or elsewhere.